welcome to DieCastRestos. My name is Jason and this is the 22B 1958 Vauxhall Cresta. It was in the Lesney Matchbox range from 1958 until 1965. It replaced the 22A Vauxhall Cresta that I recently featured on the channel. That was based on the Cresta E, whereas this casting is based on the Cresta PA series. This model has been repainted red all over, including the wheels. The only evidence of the original paint colour was under the wheel arches, the rest was totally obscured. I could see it was a bronze originally, so I intend to restore it to all over bronze once again. Here is what the real thing looks like for those unfamiliar with the Cresta. Being a British car, it took a lot of influence from its American counterparts, albeit slightly scaled down to suit the market. So here I am dismantling the model and threading the posts ahead of a paint strip. The model's colour scheme changed from pink to cream, then pink with green side panels, then metallic brown with the same side panels. After, it changed to metallic bronze with green panels, grey with lilac panels, metallic gold all over, and then the metallic bronze all over. Now I can use some caustic soda to strip that paint. The real PA Cresta replaced the E series in 1957. It takes clear inspiration from American fashions of the period, such as tail fins and white wall tyres. All of the factory-built Crestas were four-door saloons, but a company called Friary of Basingstoke converted a small number to estates. Queen Elizabeth used a PA series Cresta Friary estate during the 1950s and 60s. Here I am flattening the base gently using a hammer and a flat screwdriver, as it had bent slightly around the front rivet hole. 58 to 60 models came with a 2.2 litre inline 6 engine, while the 61 to 62 models featured a 2.6 litre unit. It was replaced by the PB Cresta in 1962 that dropped a lot of its American styling cues, including the tail fins in favour of a much more conservative look. Vauxhall's Cresta range continued with the PB and PC series through to 1972. With all of that paint removed and picked out from the casting details, you can really appreciate the intricacy of the attention to detail. This is especially the case if you compare it to its predecessor. The base is also polished prior to fixing that broken tow hook. Now the body can receive a coating of Tamiya light grey surface primer. This stuff is so good at picking out the detailing. It's remarkable how much finer it is than Tamiya's regular primer. All of these fine lines, lettering, door handles, grille and so on are really crisp. I particularly like the rear detailing on this one. I have to use a polycarbonate spray for this. This is the PS14 Copper that is a great match to its original shade. I've had a lot of success with the polycarbonate sprays. My go-to is of course the TS range of aerosols, but when I need to use an unusual shade, the PS products are really decent once they've received a layer of the clear coat to protect the paint. It looks as if it has pulled in the corners slightly, but I was pleased to find once it had dried, it had come out absolutely fine. I'll give this another coat and then apply the clear coat later on. Now I turn my attention to those wheels. These didn't escape the wrath of the red paint, so I dropped them in a cup of Dettol antiseptic liquid. This is 4.8% chloroxylenol in case you aren't familiar with Dettol. It gently loosens the paint from the plastic parts, so I'll come back to them later, and in the meantime I'll buff up the axles and I dunk my replacement windscreen unit, as this model would have been equipped with one, into my wood floor polish. All of my references say that the windscreen is meant to be a sea green shade, but why these replicas are in a bright blue is a mystery to me, but this will have to do. After a little while in the Dettol, I retrieve all four tyres, eventually, but you can see how the paint has blistered across the wheel surface. I can then use my dental tools to pick away at the remaining paint. They only require a gentle brushing. Here they are, all cleaned up, but I will give them a wash in some soapy water as they absolutely reek of the antiseptic still. Next, I turn my attention to sorting out that tow hook. First, I grind my replacement metal part down to size. I've decided to fit the replacement over the broken hook. This is because it fits together with the body instead of relying on smaller contact points if I were to cut away at the old one. I apply a dab of glue to the surface and position it in the centre. Then I can use a mini clamp to apply some pressure and ensure it is all held together nicely. Those cleaned wheels can then receive a brush of Citadel gloss to revitalise them a bit. Now dry, the tow hook is securely in position and looks pretty good, but what I want is to smooth off the step in height. I apply some model filler and sand it off later to see how it looks. Then I can begin attending to the body and applying the finishing touches. The original metallic copper bodied Crestas had 4 variations. They came with either grey or black plastic 24 notch wheels or black 36 notched wheels. They all had windscreens fitted and had silver trim applied to the grille, headlights, front bumper and red to the taillights. I got a bit carried away, as you'll see in a minute, because I did the rear bumper too. Earlier variations in different colours did have the rear bumper trimmed in silver, and some of the earliest pink models also had the number plate painted in as well. It is a very narrow rear bumper, so I used the very edge of my Molotow chrome pen to gently fill it in. I also apply chrome to the tail lights ahead of painting them with a touch of X7 red with a very fine paintbrush. Wheels and axles are reattached to the painted base and chrome is applied to the ends of the axles. So here are all the pieces required to reconstruct the Cresta. First, I'll flip it over and pop in that reproduction windscreen that attaches to the 2 short posts on the roof. Once it's in, it doesn't look anywhere near as blue as when it was sat on the desk. After removing the pair of screws that are fitted to the posts, I can place the base over each post and push down firmly to lock it in position, then screw back in to complete the job. So here is a look at the red Cresta we started out with. My detective skills determined this was originally a late copper variant, and as such would have had a windscreen fitted. It is a really nice, delicate casting in great need of a restoration, with that thick hobby paint obscuring a lot of the beautiful detailing. As well as missing the windows, it was also short of a tow hook, so I replaced that as well. So here is what the Cresta looks like now. Looking much better with that copper coat on, and the windows make a huge difference. They make it look more complete. The copper is a fine match to what the original looked like, and the clear coat will protect that polycarbonate paint. The tow hook has been reformed, and I'm fairly happy with how it has turned out, as it's my first go at replacing one. The red and chrome highlights really finish it off, especially on that big rectangular grille. I'm eager to get another one of these and do a resto on a 2-tone version. I think the 2-tone really suits the car. Anyway, that's it from me for today. Please check out my Patreon for previews for upcoming videos. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and I'll see you again for the next one. Bye for now.